Hello everybody, last talk for today. I'm super happy to have here Marina Paulenka from Berlin now and Amsterdam before when you met her. Marina she's a curator, art consultant, is teacher. Only 1 week ago, she was in Modena teaching masterclass for FMAV, for the Fondazione Modena Arti Visive. She's a super friend of mine, and she has been also the guest curator of Future's exhibition and Future platform events last year in Amsterdam. Futures is a platform related to the support and the discovering of emerging talents in Europe. Is a network made by 20 organizations across different countries. Camera is the Italian member, and a lot of members around.
Almost 17, I think.
Yeah. So welcome, Marina. And
thank you for inviting me.
We will do a kind of light conversation about your practice, discovering your projects, and going around your past experience on curatorial practice. Also because your profile is very rich, no?
Yeah.
Because
let's say I have
you are
many
also
heads.
a kind of.
I have many heads.
Yeah, or many brain working constantly. Now you are also a new director of a new space that you are working to build physically also.
Exactly.
in Berlin, Fotografiska, and so forza da parte nostra.
Thank you.
So let's start. Tell of our audience what's your approach to the curatorial practice, and when you start in working as curator.
Well, actually, I started quite young. I think I was 22 when I founded my festival in Zagreb, International Photography Festival of Vida. And first, actually, I finished graphic design and master. And during that study, I discovered photography. And then I started to study photography at the academy, and I actually started as an artist, as a photographer. But while I was doing the festival, I started very spontaneously curating and bringing artists, because at that point in Zagreb, in Croatia, we didn't have so many events, exhibitions related to contemporary photography practices, and not so many spaces which are showing young artists. So actually we started from the urge, from the need to make some change. So actually also my practice started in that way. And at one point I was doing also art direction of the festival, production, curation, and parallel to this my own artistic practice. So here I am. I can say that I really have experience of working in different organizations, from totally non-profit organization in Zagreb, then later in Amsterdam at Art Fair and Festival Unseen, and today for the Museum Fotografiska Berlin.
And what is your topic? In your first approach, for joking, I would ask you how you are managing the brain of the artist from the side of curator yourself.
Yeah.
But I would like to ask you how many topics are you investigating in Organ Vida? Because Organ Vida is really focused on specific topics. So I would like to describe to your audience, to our audience, sorry.
Well, in my practice mostly, also from my artistic point of view and my curatorial point of view, I was mostly interested in like feministic topics, in women's rights, gender identities, but in general like social political issues of our everyday life. I was always thinking that art should reflect the environment that we are living in, landscape of our everyday life. So that's also what we are doing in Organ Vida. We always try to reflect what's happening in our country, in our region, but also on international scene. That's also how we actually choose the topics. when it was migration crisis, we were dealing with refugees. I wouldn't say that 2018 was the year when we dedicated all festival program to women. And we were, I think, one of the first festivals who did that. We did it because of the urge. It was in the middle of the protest in Croatia. We were fighting for women's rights, against the victimization, for the right for the abortion and so on. So on the street you can see the protest, and in museums we were organizing exhibitions. It was like all over the city. We invited so many, more than 250 artists from all over the world. But I wanted to say that continuously through Organ Vida Festival we were constantly thinking about equality. So every year we were thinking about a specific number of female artists and male artists, about importance of dealing with important topics rather than just to fill up the space with the program, you know. So for us that was really the core, because what we were experiencing as a people, as a artists, as a curators, we try to translate it to the gallery and other spaces and communicate with our audience. And for us was most important thing. That communication, no matter is it outside or inside our bubble, but exchanging the thoughts and educating the audience, try to ignite critical questions, trying to make positive change.
Yeah, and at the same time, Organ Vida seems to be at the border of contemporary issues, no? In order to investigate it, in order to also readdress some question, because at the moment the inclusion of female artists in exhibitions seems to be a trend, no?
Yeah, exactly.
A kind of fancy situation. But the readdressing, for my perception of Organ Vida is at the verge, no, of this kind of discussion.
It was always about the diversity and inclusion. And even now, I left the festival 2019, and I left it in good hands of my colleagues. They continue doing that every second year, but still, like, I think, and I'm very much proud of the level of the quality and topics they are dealing with. Having in mind the difficulties of organizing this kind of events on Balkans, you know, it's like, I really appreciate their effort.
What is the difference between Organ Vida and, for example, Futures, the Future the exhibition organized and curated by you in the festival in Amsterdam?
Yeah.
If you want, you can.
I prepare you the slides of installation photos of few of my exhibitions that I did through Organ Vida, and when I was also independent curator during 2020 and 2021. So actually Futures, which is Netherlands and Amsterdam-based European platform, they invited me to be the guest curator for 2021 edition. We had a really amazing topic. We were dealing about hybridization.
What you put inside this project, starting from your experience, and where is the difference in working in two different contexts, like Netherlands and Croatia are?
Well, I had already experience to working in Netherlands before, when I was artistic director for Unseen, but this is one independent project. Actually, it was interesting. What I translated here is my ability to working with diverse artists, diverse generations, and diverse topics that we try to put under the umbrella of hybridization in visual arts. So we were dealing with different topics, mostly about the impact of global warming to the humankind and nature, but also of the impact of technology on human body and people. And actually we had an open call, which was internal open call for Future platform, and through many applications we selected 11 artworks of the artists. And what I like with this show, and which also addresses to my practice, it's not only about the pure photography medium, but it's about using photography in different means, seeing how photography is in relation with other media, with video, with the sound, with installation, with performance. We also have one performative artwork. This is not anymore Futures. I don't have so many features, but that I found very interesting. And also the audience reacted very, very good to our installations and the topics. The exhibition is going to be actually shown next week in Madrid, in Centro, as a part of Foto España Festival.
Yeah, and yes, because this experience is going is seminal also, no, in Futures Network. I will have the pleasure to curate the next
Exactly.
this annual edition that will take place here in Turin in November. I'm really terrified from the selection process. We receive 100 applications, but I'm also curious to investigate and to discover how.
You will enjoy.
Yeah. I think is one of also for you could be in your future experience. What's the main aspect that you remember as new inside your
My previous or my
Yeah.
future experience? In my practice, future practice.
what futures give to you
As a
something new?
platform. Amazing network of the people that I already know, but like introduction to European photography scene, because every future partners is proposing several photographers every year. I think it's amazing, and so it brought me so many interesting artistic projects that potentially one day I will be working with them. Networks, people, and what I really appreciate is actually that moment of exchanging our thoughts, our practices. You know, you and me also met again, I mean, at the end through the futures, and look what that connection where that brought to us here in Turin, and who knows what is actually waiting in front of us. So I think that's the biggest gift and the values that we have from these platforms. Of course, besides everything what we are producing and opportunities that we are preparing for the artists.
Yes, it's a very super tool for research. It's a super tool for contacts. It's super tool to discover, no, also what's happening in different contexts in the same time. 3 minutes and a half to speak about your new experience, new here, new experience. So, what's happening in Berlin?
Wow, in Berlin it's happening so many things, but I'm so excited because I got the position of Director of Exhibitions of Fotografiska Berlin, which is a new museum of photography and related media that is going to be open next year in the first half in Berlin Mitte. And actually it's a part of the global Fotografiska brand, where museums are still already existing in Stockholm, Tallinn and New York. And it's going to be a fantastic experience of the museum for the modern people and the world. I'm very excited about the program we are preparing, which is going to be very much inspiring. We would like to challenge our audience by presenting really like interesting shows. But besides the shows, also museum offers a lot of different things like programming, talks, educational part, fantastic restaurant experience, museum shop, and so on. So now we are in the stage of preparing everything, and I'm very proud, I have to say, that I'm part of that process.
Yeah. As we told yesterday, our practice is not only related to the single moment with artists, the single moment with the show, the setting of exhibition and something like that, but we need to explore more and more how we can include, how we can be inclusive in terms of audience and accessibility of experience of the museum.
Definitely.
No? Yeah.
Definitely, this is going to be main part and our main focus, to really make accessible to everyone, to make everyone feel invited to come to Fotografiska Museum and to speak with widest possible audience through different shows and programs that we are going to do. I think it's today most important thing, that museums really open, and we would like to be a museum of future.
Yeah, but absolutely also because the exhibition is maybe is the top of the life of our museums, but also educational programs, the ways in which you develop educational programs, different targets of audience.
Exactly,
no?
exactly.
Could be really productive and sustainable in terms not only of economies but also in social
Museums
terms,
can be
in social and cultural terms.
Place of education, but they can be smart, but also very exciting and interesting for everyone. So I think I see that in that way, museum, like hybrid museum of the future.
Okay, really happy and also really excited to discover the new purpose. Now, if you want, spoil something. No, I'm just joking. Thanks, Marina. Thanks for your
Thank you, Gianga, so
contribution
much
and
for inviting me.
enjoy touring in these days.
I will, thank you. I will go to see the fair now.
Okay, super. Thank you very much.
Thank you.